Hi, it's Tracey Campbell here with another Colour Blast design team process video. I'm actually going to make a layout for the White with One blog challenge, and as you can see for this month it was the white background with the yellow colour. So I'm pulling out all my Colour Blast yellows. So I've got the Colour Blast spray, the Colour Blast colour paste, the Colour Blast embossing powder, and the Colour Blast Shimmer dust. And straight away I'm going to go and use the Shimmer dust just a little bit onto my colour background. It looks a bit orange in here in the pot, but once the water activates with it, it goes a beautiful bright yellow. Just took a little bit out of my spatula and just spreading it around a bit because I wanted it spread out, not just in one big area. As you can see, when you wipe it off with the baby wipe, the brightness of the yellow, that once the dampness activates. And now I'm going to hit it with my water. Just a bit of spray straight onto the cardstock and the shimmer dust. Drench it a little bit because I want the water to run down the page. Trying to control where the water dribbles are going. Not very successful at this. I kind of have to bend and twist and turn the page around and redirect and respray. Well, eventually I'll get it to where I want them. Just blotting some of the excess off because it's running too much. I want it to stop running just where it is and not continue all the way off the page. However, I want this little one down here to run, and I can't seem to get that without getting a bit of an angle and then making the bigger swatches run further. So I'm just delicately doing it, guiding it with my finger, but not too much. And I finally got it how I want, so I'm just going to leave it dry. And while it's drying, I'm actually going to pull out a stack of yellow pattern paper that I've got, scraps and whole sheets, and trim them down to size. Now, I didn't really measure any of the sizes when I was cutting them. I just randomly cut them. Some of them I used, like the cut apart sheets, I used as the same size they were, and with other of the pattern paper, I left it some size the same as it was as scraps, and then even more I just quickly trim them up. I did trim some into triangles, and I trimmed some vellum as well, and cardstock too. So I'm not going to show you trimming them all up because that could get rather boring. I will cut it and edit it out. I've decided I'm going to use a triangle shape for a corner. So I'm not very good at eyeing triangles and making them even, so I do measure two edges of my triangles across the corner so I can match it up, and then just cut it and then hold it properly and cut it so it doesn't slip and slide everywhere. I'm having a bit of trouble today with the trimmer. Just adding a bit of dimensional shape to the triangle because I am going to be adding a lot of layers, and sometimes I do tend to scrunch up my paper and matting paper to give it some bulk and volume, just to add a little bit of interest to the page. Now, what I have done here, I do apologise, I got into creative space and forgot to film what I was doing. As you can see, the dribbles are now all dry, and I have used a little fine spot stencil, and I used the Colour Blast colour paste and I layered a couple of the dots over the layers of the dribbles. So as you can see, top left, top right, and bottom right corners, you can see those really nice shiny shimmer. Now the colour paste really, when it does dry, it has this beautiful bold colour, and it has a beautiful shimmer and shine through it. And then what I did, I just layered on some of the pattern paper that I got in the corner and underneath the photo. And here I am going through some cutouts and die cuts that I've got, just looking for white and yellow, and a bit clear as well. Bringing back the thing, and I'm going to now have a play with the die cuts that I've pulled out and work out which ones I like and where I think they might go. When I'm doing a layout, I don't really have a idea of what I'm doing in my mind. I just like to play, move things around a bit, and have a bit of a play, and I get to the point where I've got quite a bit on the page and I think, oh my goodness, just stick it down, that'll do, that looks good. So I try not to overwork everything. I just lay out and build up the layers with dimension, with scrunching up the paper, just fiddling with it basically until I think it looks cool. Try and decide if I'm going to call it My Happy Place or Love This, and actually decide on using both of them. But I wanted to put them somewhere where you can see that they've been cut out, so having the yellow, bold yellow behind it really works. I'm just fiddling. When I'm building up areas where I'm putting clusters, I tend to use 3 areas, because 3 areas tend to draw the eye in, and it makes nice harmonious balance as well. You've got these 3 points where your eye moves around the page and it follows those points. And vellum is a lovely layering tool, I suppose you can say. It has got a clear feel to it, and you can see through it, but it doesn't, and it dulls down the colours, but it doesn't take away all the colour. You can still work with it, and it makes a lovely, I suppose it gives a softness over the colour, is what I'm trying to say. And 3-dimensional tape, once again, to add some height to the elements. As you can see, I use double-sided sticky tape and get the tape bit everywhere. So when I'm doing a layering in a layout, I tend to make quite a bit of a mess and just put it to the side and clean it up when a little bit later on. Every tape dispenser thing that I've bought, those rolly ones where they stick the dots on or the tape on, I always think I'd love to use one of those, but I never have any luck. I haven't bought one yet out of the hundreds that I've bought that I've really been happy with. Most of the tape breaks, or it gets tangled, or it gets loose before I get to the end of it. So if you've got a good adhesive dispenser that you can recommend, please let me know. I'd love to see which ones you're using. Just got an acrylic clear frame there that I cut in half, and I've put half on one side and half on the other. Just having a bit of fiddle and a play, working out where I want everything to go down. Bringing out the little Tim Holtz stapler and stapling it all in together, making the layers hold. It does save a little bit of time, and I do like the look of the little tiny staples, they're very cute. Just bringing in the label, then I just want to write where it was and what year, and just trying to work out a good place to position it. Just one of those sticky labels, so you can easily put it down, side up near the heart looks best. Just writing in handwriting where it was and what year. As you can see, I've cleared away all my mess, and I do that when I'm thinking about what I want to do next in the layout, and I decided that I wanted a bit more texture, I suppose, on the page, so I've got some cotton thread and just winding it off the bobbin and creating 2 or 3 little piles where I'm going to adhere them underneath my embellishment clusters. Having a bit of trouble with the bobbin here. Just wasn't coming off very smoothly. I tend to move things around a bit, so even though I've stuck them down, I do tend to lift my embellishments and my paper and layers up a little bit. So when I am creating, even though I've stuck them down, I don't press them very hard. I leave that until the last and hope that I can press it all down and it makes it stick. I just put them down tentatively so I can actually pick them up and pop things underneath or move them around if need be. It's a bit difficult when you have stapled it. Just deciding if it needs anything else, and yes it does, it needs some enamel dots. Just going through my pile, pulled out a few. I'm not going to put that many on. My thought process is that I pull out what I think will look good and then slowly eliminate what I don't want to use. I've decided on the little chipboard star-shaped things. Now I don't have any luck with chipboard sticking with the adhesive that it comes with, so I do tend to use the three-dimensional fluid that just dries clear and adheres everything to the page. And even with when I'm doing embellishment clusters like this, I use the 3 placement as well. So like where I've placed the 3 embellishment clusters, I also use the rule of 3s in my embellishment clusters. As you can see on that one, there's the 1, 2 and 3 triangles that draw the eye across the embellishment itself. And because I didn't have enough, I only used the 1 on the main centre embellishment cluster. And I've decided to use some of the Colour Blast spray, and I will use some more splatters, add a bit more depth and interest to the page. And my layout is done. Just making sure that chipboard star's stuck. And that's it, all finished. Thank you for viewing and watching my video.